Jiu Jitsu is for everybody. You could be 100 pounds, 5 feet tall. You could be 300 pounds, 7 feet tall. It's for everybody. Like, it's not basketball where the tallest guy has the biggest advantage, or football, the heaviest guy has the biggest advantage, or the fastest guy. It's just a sport where everybody can make it work for them, and you know, that goes girls, boys, everybody can do jiu-jitsu, can be great at jiu-jitsu.
You can't roll on the ground by yourself. You can't have a competition on your own. So it's critically important that we don't have those stigmas, we don't have those stereotypes, because then there would be no mixed martial arts.
It's hard sometimes when you feel like you don't improve as you did the first couple months that you started something, where every day you can see these visible leaps and bounds. And then, you know, after a year, after 2 years, that starts to really slow down.
You're going to have really, really good days, and you're going to have really, really bad days. And I think it's important to consistently keep coming back even after those really bad days, because with jiu-jitsu, male or female, we need training partners. And I think sometimes people, they'll start at white belt and they'll go all the way up to blue, and then all of a sudden they just fall off the face of the earth. You never see them again, and they stop. And it's disheartening because we need those people to keep coming back. It's hard. It's hard work. It's discipline. It's consistency, and it requires a mental game for sure. 90% mental, 10% skill. I definitely have anxiety before any type of tournament, or sometimes even before getting on the mats. I think a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners experience that. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. And in life, there are going to be a lot of hurdles, a lot of hills. That's why I love jiu-jitsu, because it really teaches me to be cognizant of what's going on around me and how to only focus on one specific thing, overcome that move. If someone puts their hand here, how do I overcome it? It really is a mental game, and it allows me to be successful not just on the mats, but also off the mats.
I think the hardest part getting ready for competition is just the nerves, just getting over the nerves and getting yourself to compete just like you do when you're training in the practice room. You're an athlete, you're training, you're being the best you could be, the strongest, the fittest, and the most technical, and you go and you test yourself just like any other sport, but you know, there's not a whole team of people holding you back or holding you up. It's all on you, and you're gonna go and you're gonna fight one against one, and the best guy's gonna win.
I train, 5 different martial arts at this point. I do this every day of the week. I do it before work, after work. This is the thing that I enjoy doing. It's been a constant in my life through some very hard times, and it's always been there for me. I always joke that the gym is my temple, and I go there and I can leave all my problems at the door. So the motivation is just, it's what I love to do. And even if I don't think that I'm improving as fast, I know that it's that constant, that therapy for me, so I'm gonna go anyway. I still get the butterflies, I still get nervous, and that kind of goes away once you step on the mat, but the days and the hours and the minutes leading up to an actual match is what I think the hardest part is. Now as I go a little deeper, more into the BJJ side of it and the MMA side of it, I've never felt like people didn't push me to better myself the entire time. You hear a lot that it's violent, that it's, for these scrappers and these people who just have just a negative connotation around them. There's forms that are directly artistic, there's combat sports, there's self-defense forms, which, usually those are the ones that get the bad rep, the ones that are, I'm gonna break your arm and put you on the ground and knock you unconscious. But at the end of the day, martial artists are the most peaceful people you'll ever meet.
people think it's all just like a self-defense martial arts system. It's a sport. Like, we're here at a tournament right now, we're gonna compete. We're not here to fight somebody who's coming off the street or something. We're here fighting other people that train Jiu Jitsu and know how to fight.
When it comes to training, I think it's always a challenge being a female in this sport. I think that sometimes men don't know how to train with women, or they don't want to train with women. In reality, we can be awesome partners for them. For us, we have to rely so much more on our technique and our leverage and our angles, as opposed to just brute strength. A lot of times, you can totally feel that the guys don't want to train with you. It's like the no eye contact thing, like the quick eye contact and then look away, which always makes me laugh. So my coach, Danilo, has just encouraged me to, if I want to roll with somebody, ask somebody to roll. So I kind of always just laugh when they don't want to roll. I don't really care anymore. I used to care, but now I don't.
I think one stereotype I've heard the most is that it's only for guys. Any combat sport, especially for females, it's a little intimidating at first, but the women's mixed martial arts arena is growing every single day, and just tearing down those stereotypes and those stigmas are really important to do.
A man's strength is so much different than a woman's strength, and if one of the reasons that you're training is for self-defense, it's so important to be able to feel a man's strength versus a woman's strength. And this is such a controlled, safe environment that this is the best spot for you to train these types of things with.
As soon as you're here, this spot, it should be one motion.
For anybody who's never trained, they're not going to understand what we're talking about. It's something that, you see guys punching each other in the face. You see guys trying to break each other's arm. You see, even some of the more beautiful martial arts, it's a physical art form. So I think it's creating that lesson of understanding. Anybody who came and tried a class would understand that it's a very philosophical place. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of talk, a lot of emotion behind all of this. But at the end of the day, you shake somebody's hand before you spar with them. You shake somebody's hand after you roll with them. There's this immense amount of respect and understanding in the martial arts community. It's one of those things you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't just stand on the sidelines and say, look at how violent they are. You actually have to talk to somebody, and you actually have to experience it.
Jiu-Jitsu is just like my way of learning about myself. So when I see the obstacle, I have to try to get over it. I have to go beat it, or if it's something I'm nervous to do, I have to do it. If it's something I think I can't do, I'm going to train until I believe I can, and then I'm going to go try to do it.
I personally think it's fun to push myself every day. I get super bored if I'm not doing something new, and I think that that's important for everybody. You always got to be moving, you always got to be changing, you always have to be growing. Otherwise, we just stay stagnant, and to me, that's boring. I don't want to do that. I think that it's something that you can never get perfect at it, and that's why I love it, because there's always something you could do to grow. I've been doing it for over 7.5 years, and I still feel like I'm such a newbie at it. So I love the fact that there's just so much more. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing, and I feel like that's how you should be with your goals anyway. You want to just keep on going, keep on growing. So Jiu-Jitsu allows you to do that.
Anybody who is a competitor, there are moments where you have to cut weight, and there are friends and family members who don't understand, and I've had to not go to parties or kind of be away from an environment that has drinking or has parties. My parents are supportive of me, but then when I am in competition mode, they just don't get it, they don't understand. The people who don't understand, they're not around me.
For me, with the competitive side of it, the hardest part is more the mental side, less so than the physical, where I know I'm going to train every day. It's been long enough that I have the weight under control. For me, it's more the mental preparation, the leading up to the actual competition itself.
I definitely have anxiety before any type of tournament, or sometimes even before getting on the mats. I think a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners experience that. That's probably the one thing that I have the most difficult time with in jiu-jitsu, is just that mental game.
It's just a sport where everybody can make it work for them, and you know, that goes girls, boys, everybody can do jiu-jitsu, can be great at jiu-jitsu.